Well, welcome. We're going to start standing for this class, prepping from the bottom of the body, working our way up. We're just going to do a nice primer and get into some really great flow this morning with some nice heated moments in between. So when you come to stand, I would like you to start and just feel your feet on your mat or the floor you're standing on. I know sometimes that cue seems obvious. Yes, I feel my feet. We're standing up. But could you actually feel your feet? Think about, where are my feet touching? For some of you, all 10 toes won't even touch the mat. Are you aware of that? Is it right, wrong? No, neither apply. Just feel where your body tends to sit here. Do you feel the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, and the heel? Now just simply start shifting your weight, keeping your feet flat on the mat, forward and back. So it's going to be pretty small, right? Because if I go too far forward, my heels would rise. If I go too far back, my toes will lift and I'll feel like I'm falling back. So this is very subtle. Yes, we're shifting the weight on our feet, but can you actually start to become aware of what's happening internally through our midsection, our trunk? You'll feel that presence when you go forward. Naturally, your deep core is going to turn on. It's like kind of alerting, right? And when you lean back, can you feel the muscles up and down your spine turn on? Now let's just go a little side to side. So again, it doesn't have to be dramatic. You're starting to prime from your very deepest muscles. I mean, we can't just jump into doing something full body and have this area dormant, right? It's not as fulfilling, not as safe. So just feel what's happening inside as you shift your weight. We're actually waking up some additional things on the back that I'm not even mentioning, and it's so cool. It's such great stuff for our spine. Decompressing as those muscles wake up deep in us. One more. Now let's just kind of move to the mind and the brain. Can you lift up opposite arm, opposite leg, and switch? So whatever this looks like, right? Maybe you're just nice and flowy. Maybe you're adding a little more variety, right, in the speed. Doesn't matter to me. Start tapping that opposite knee now. Good, so we're just informing one side of the body, and the other half of you is there, right? Getting those sides to connect. 3, 2, 1, stand. Feel that little buzzing presence that's there. We're going to go ahead and take one hand behind the head, the other is behind the low back, and they're going to switch. Always, if we feel particularly tight in the chest, you can always take this more into a salute instead of going behind the head. This should really feel like a great stretch and an awakening of the shoulders. It should not feel jarring, pinchy, or painful. Wonderful windmills. Think about how those shoulder blades are moving. Awesome, and we're gonna get those shoulder blades going even more so. In 3, 2, and 1. Shake those arms out. Great, let's just open the gate. So take one knee across the body. And do your best to think about how the leg is doing the opening. Notice if I just let my trunk follow my leg the whole time, I'm not actually opening my hip that much because I'm letting my trunk go with me. So can you let your leg do the opening? And the leg do the opening. You quickly realize what your range is for turnout, right? You can't really push it. There it goes, and it's done. Find that end range. 2 more. Good, right up on the side you did, not start up. Excellent. We're going to make our way down to hands and knees. So if you need to adjust your camera, go ahead. Don't mind my close-up here. I'm going to let Annie in. She's just joining us. All right, where is my... Fantastic. Hello, Annie. All right, so coming to hands and knees. And Annie, I know you were just out doing cardio, so I know you kind of already prepped the things we just prepped, so that was fantastic. Hands and knees we come. Widen those fingers for me and just give a little shift side to side. So again, you're just starting to put some positive pressure into the forearms, the wrists, and the hands, because those need to be primed to move, right? And then very gently, can you think more forward and back? So again, right, we go forward, we're gonna feel more into the wrist. You take it for what you need to just awaken them. It again should not cause you pain, pinching, or discomfort. Great, so here we go back to the shoulder blades. I adore this one. So it doesn't matter which arm you do first, but you're gonna drop an elbow. Oh, my back actually just cracked when I did that. Drop an elbow, notice how that turns you one way. Now also drop the other elbow. Now you're square to the mat again. Now pick up that first elbow, and that turns me to you guys the other way. And then pick up the second one. So we'll go in a circular fashion. I'll cue you which one this time. Put down your left elbow, which makes you look right. Put down your right elbow. Pick up and straighten that left arm. You're looking left. And then pick up the right. So we go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Feel just the rotation, the flow of what's happening in that spine. One more. Ooh, these are just so juicy and good. We're gonna go the other way. Drop your right, then left, straighten right, straighten left. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Two more. Right, left, right, left. One more. Right, left, right, and left. Very good. Take your weight back towards your heels. We're just going to take those hands and flip them the other way. So now I can look down at my palms. Notice we shifted our weight back. We don't need a lot of weight here. So I have the very top of my hand on the mat, and then a little side to side. That feels really good. Feels really nice in the front of my forearms. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed. They're called spiders, that little elbow down, down, arm up, up. Oh, it's just such that wonderful spiraling effect that's in the body all the time. It's just such a great warm up. So very easy, slide your hand back out and slide the other back out. Let's go back into our opposites. We did a little marching and tapping. So in this now, you're going to pick up one hand, one knee, then the opposite. So it's just a little bit of a rock, little bit of a lift. Good, kind of getting into that idea of crawling, right? We're doing our opposites. Now pause, one arm, one leg, and just think little motions forward. Still trying to keep that back knee off of the ground. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Come to center, pick up the opposite hand and knee, and little bit of a lean and back. Little rocking. I hope you're noticing how much your deep core is turning on so that you don't fall on your face, right? This is like a swing. One more, and come back to center. Good, I'm gonna turn to you. I'd like you to widen your hands way out. It's funny, I feel like mine are really wide, but when I look up, they don't look that wide. But it leaves me feeling just a wee bit vulnerable. And I'm gonna turn my fingers so they're facing the sides of the room. Awesome. So my knees are still, of course, on the floor. So in this position now, I just want you to bend one elbow and look in the same direction as the bent elbow. And then shift your weight. Bend the other elbow and try to look up past that shoulder toward the ceiling. And then up and over, bending letting your hips go with you. You'll start to feel that nice stretch in the outer glutes. And one more time, bending, looking, stretching through the other side of the chest as well. And coming to center. Turn your fingers toward me and maybe walk in just a few inches on each hand. Now I'm going to take myself down, moving as if I'm just going to touch my nose in the same line as where my index fingers are. And then I'm going to extend back up to straight arms. So see if when you lower, if there was a line going from index finger to index finger, your nose would touch that line. And we're just going to do 2 more. Really push. I'm getting a nice little shake. Little push. Last one. Down we go. Little push. And then walk those hands back. Everyone's starting to get just a little bit tacky. All right, I'm going to just turn back to the side. You stay where you're most comfortable on your mat. All right, so we're going to combine those things together. Get your hands about the width of your mat. Fingers are wide, knees are bent. So the 2 things we're taking together is the push up into opposites. So here we go. Lower your nose toward the fingers. Push back up, and when you push up, take one hand and one knee off. Place them down, lower down. Push up, take the opposites off. Both hands down, nose down, push up, lift opposites. Both hands down, nose down, push up to opposites. Nose down. Now when we push up opposites, stretch them out. Hand and knee down, nose down. Push up opposites. Nose down. Push up opposites. Nose down. Push up opposites. One more on each side, unless you're even in one. And nose down, push up opposites. And done. Stretch back into little child's pose. Let your hips sway side to side. Let your back feel loose. Let your head turn. Look to your right, look to your left. Wonderful. We're going to walk those hands right out to find our pelvis on the mat. So I'm going to keep my elbows and forearms down and also lower my forehead. So my elbows are quite a bit back, right? If I have my arms too far forward, I can't lower my chest and comfortably lower my forehead. So starting with the elbows and forearms and hands down, I want you to first push into the elbows and lift your forehead. Then could you imagine that you're pushing into your forearms a little bit more to lift your chest? Now push into your hands a little bit more, nice and wide, to straighten the arms. Only where your back is happy to go. My arms are still bent. And then slowly lowering forearms, elbows, head lowers. Push into your elbows first. Lift the forehead. Try to push a bit into your forearms. Lift the chest. Push into the wide hands and see if you can lift the elbows. Then forearms are down, elbows are down, and forehead lowers. Awesome. Take those hands out. Go ahead and stack them underneath your forehead. I'm going to turn towards you just so you can hear me okay. So with your hands stacked and your forehead resting onto your hands, I want you to stretch your right leg just a little bit longer. And then can you stretch your left leg away from you just a little bit more? So get them extra long, little go-go gadget legs. Stretch them out there. Now I want you to take one heel in towards your buttocks. And you're going to flex your foot, which means your foot is flat to the ceiling. And when you lower it, point the toes, but try to keep your thigh lifted and set the thigh down. Bend the other knee, flex the ankle. Lengthen the leg long, point the toes, keep your thigh up, 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 and then set the thigh down. So we're gonna speed it up. Bending heel towards buttocks, lift the thigh, straighten the leg out with toes pointed, set the thigh down. Other knee bends, flex at the ankle, lift the thigh up, reach the leg long, keep the thigh up, and down it goes. Bend, lift, lengthen, lower. Bend, lift, lengthen, and lower. Bend, lift, lengthen, lower. Keep going. Be mindful of how much you may be pushing into the leg on the mat. Can you keep the other leg light? And just try to activate the side we're moving. Reach and lower. One more each side. Reach and lower. One more. And reach and lower. Hands are going to go out. Now we're going to go forehead to the floor, but I recognize you may need to look up and see just for one. We're going to bend and lift, but now I reach behind. Notice how I can peek at you, right? Because I'm going to twist, but I'm not going to let myself fall. But I'm trying to touch the floor back there and keep this hand on the mat. And then I'm going to come back, keep my thigh up, and then lengthen and lower. So bend the other knee and reach behind you. Peek under that armpit, try to touch the floor. And then around we come, keep the thigh light, 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 reach and lower. Bend the knee, reach behind you. Oh, that feels so good in the hips. Around we come, keep the thigh lifted and stretch that leg long and down it goes. Bend, roll, tap, roll, lengthen, and lower. Bend, roll, open, roll back, keep the thigh up, lengthen, lower. One more each way. Bend and reach, roll back over, sides up, legs long, and down. Final one. Bend and reach. Over, become thighs light, long, and heavy. Go ahead and push back into your hands. Find your hips back in child's pose. Just give yourself a few specific breaths, taking that air into the lower back. Really imagine as if your lungs lived way down just below your glutes and you were filling them up. Your knees can be wherever your knees want to be, close together, far apart. Now we're going to keep the arms, one of them anyways, out long. So the one that's behind me, you can't see as well, is going to stay put. The other, I'm going to pull in towards that knee. And I'm going to push into it to straighten it and turn in that same direction. And then I'm going to lower down, slide that arm out. Slide the other hand back. Push into both hands, turn open in that direction. And forehead down, arms go long. One arm comes in, push, and look. Oh, I'm growing as we speak. And down and reach. One more, pull the other in and push. Oh, it's all in here. And both arms out and lower. Wonderful. Walk yourself to those hands and knees position. You're just going to drop your hips to one side and come to sit up. So noticing in this position that I have this foot out in front of my knee, so I'm not sitting on it. So really just nice and easy to start. Our hands will be behind us, and we're just going to pick up the knees and let them go the other way. So the knees are just going to go side to side. We're going to just start taking that opposite arm with us. I'll go this way in case it's easier to see. So my feet stay in place. I'm moving my knees side to side. Reach with that arm. Reach. And reach. So lots of upper body involvement. One more each way. And then coming to center. Now let's keep our hands there. So it's a lot less rocking with the trunk. Just let the legs go now. So the difference in the hips is a lot. As right in the previous one, we're letting the trunk, kind of like in warm up when I was saying open the gate with the knees. If you let the trunk go, it's going to diminish how much the hips have to work for it. Totally fine, right? They're both enjoyable. But I want you to be able to distinctly choose which one and be able to do both. Always interesting here. You know, my preference is turn out. So for me, the leg going in, oh yeah, that's where I really feel the stretch. If you're more prone to be here like Deborah is, it's her outer leg that she's like, oh, it's just not as preferred. Okay, we're going to take those legs back to the side. So get up on your rump. Go ahead and place those legs over to one side. Now, of course, can we put a hand down? Yes. I want you to, though, make it a goal that this hand is light or not touching at all. So just be mindful how much you're using your upper body now. So it seems simple, but lots of core, lots of deep connection happening to make this go. So arms are out if you can. Switch your legs to the other side. Switch your legs to the other side. This gives you any feedback in your low back that you don't love. You put this hand down, and I'll do a feel like this so you can see. All it does is take the intensity out of the lumbar spine. Okay, so there's no problem in doing that with a light hand if we're talking spinal discomfort. Okay, that's bothering your back. Then lightly place that hand down. Woo! Again, do you see how one turns out, one is rotated in? So again, you're going to feel your preferred leg. So this one turning in is like screaming at me because it loves turn out. One more each way. Oh, baby. And then we're going to stop with legs in the center. Nice work. Good. Go ahead and get yourself in line with your mat if you're not already. And we're going to start rolling down. I trust that if you need to do this with a flat back, that you will do that. Okay, here we go. Arms are extended out. Not all of you got to do this with me last week, so we're going to do the rocking version of this. What, some of you say? I've tried my whole life not to rock, not heave-ho. There's a difference. So we're going to rock side to side, okay? So as you go, start rocking side to side. So we've done a ton of this today, right? We did it in opposites. We're getting that spine all warmed up. So I'm going to just take it a little slower. And my goal is, can I roll down and keep rocking? Woo! Until I feel that moment where it's like, oh, I've settled. And now I'm going to rock, rock, rock my way up. All the way till I feel tall and settled. Rock down. You kind of know when you land, right? You're like, oh, I feel good there. I'm in the middle. Reach those arms overhead and rocking back up. Rock, 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 rock. Excellent. Come up to the top. Take one arm open. So I'm going to you so I can see you. One arm open. Now I'm going to begin to take myself down here. Finding the floor with this hand. I'm going to roll down, thinking of staying on that side of my spine. Then I'm going to reach both hands overhead. I'm laying flat. I'm now going to reach the other hand to the ceiling. The other is still on the floor. And here's my roll up on the left side in my body, right? So it's a bit like a horseshoe. I'm going to go back on that same side, reaching over. overhead, and then come up on the other side. Heading down on one side, reach overhead, and come up on the other side. One more, down on one side of the back, come to the center, and up on the other side. You can probably hear that in my voice, right? That's hard work. All right, hands out in front. Give that butt a little wiggle. So move that spine for me. Feel it work in the waist. So that feeling would be I get a little cinch here, then I get a little cinch on the other side, right? A little side to side. We're gonna take it slower. When I lean toward all of you, I'm gonna let that hand come to the floor and I'm picking up this leg. Now I'm gonna rock back onto both buns. I'm gonna rock away. My hands on the floor. Good. And rock. And rock. So we're gonna actually do some of our great sideline work for balance and glutes here today. So next time you rock toward me, stay there. Now we lift the leg, lift it up, 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 up. 4, 3, 2, we'll rock away and lift for 8, rock away. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rock the other way, take that leg up, little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1, go the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1, rock away. And little circles. Notice how my hand is pretty far away from my body, so you can slide your fingers out, go the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1, rock again. So see, notice how this arm's way out there. I don't feel jammed up here. Get it out there. Taking that leg now, you're gonna go forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Can you reach through your toes, your heels? Toes, heels, toes, heels, 2 more, toes, heels, last one, toes, heels, roll over. Forward we go, heel, back, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, 2 more, heel, toe, last one, heel, toe, rock up to seated, and head all the way down. Great job. Again, I hope everybody has a nice little tackiness about that. Just a little warmth in there. Okie dokie. We're gonna go hands behind the head and really take that moment to create the emphasis of pushing the base of your skull into your hands. You wanna try to make your head extra heavy. Now, with that the case, keeping the head heavy, start to lift from your abdominals, to lift the shoulder blades and head up, just into a mini sit-up. Just enough to feel it happening in the abs, not so much that the neck is curled, right? It's just a slight chin tuck. Fantastic. Bring one leg to tabletop. Ready? Bring the other one. All right, from here, we're gonna go tap and lift. Tap, lift. My goal and your goal is to stay from the pubic bone to the crown of my head in the same position, and I'm just working for it. As my legs move, I'm trying to maintain this long, lengthened feeling. Abs are on. High heat for sure. Now we'll go double legs. It makes the challenge harder. Do not let the curve of your low back change. So your legs are dancing around to challenge your abs. The work is not in the legs. 2 more. Last one. Tabletop. Drop your knees to one side. Try not to fall over. And back to the middle. Drop your knees to the other side. Try not to fall over. Back to center. Drop them to the first side. Back to center. One more. Drop to the other side. Back to center. Set one leg down, then the other, and lower out of the sit-up. Woo! That'll create some warmth. Arms are going to go out to your sides, palms to the floor. Now, I do want you to be careful that you don't start shoving your shoulders up into your ears. So you need to walk those hands down and keep them away from your ears. Tabletop legs. Now, we've got a little more room to play. Keep your legs together, drop them to one side, but don't fall over. But now you've got your arms there as little kickstands. And then up you come. Drop to the side. Think of it all being from that waist. Pull back. Oh, tummy, 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 tummy. Drop to that first side. Use your abs. Pull back. One more. Head to the left. Or the other side, excuse me. And pull up through those abs. And then set the legs down. Reach them out long. Lengthen the arms overhead. Big breath in. Exhale out the mouth. One more. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Go ahead and bend both knees, keeping your feet on the mat. We're going to take those arms around in a circle. And as they reach to the hips, float up into your little sit-up. Arms go back. You go down and around. Reach towards your heels. Look towards your knees. If you need to have one hand behind your head, take it. Arms go first. Woo, there's the extra challenge. And then the spine goes down. Arms around, float up. Arms reach. Spine lowers. And around. Float up. Arms go first, try to stay in the float. And then spine goes down. Arms come around. One more, reach. Arms reach back, and spine goes down, and circle around. Good, place those hands down by your hips, firmly find your feet into the mat. And from this position, we're gonna go ahead and lift up. Kind of just feel the very bottom of the shoulder blade lift. We do not have to go further into like an over-exaggerated back bend. So just trying to lift the hind end. And from here, we're going to go into a march. Now we're going to keep our elbows on the mat, but when you lift a knee, could you lift the opposite arm? Just keeping the elbow down and then lift. So you still have your elbows on the mat for balance. Find those opposites. Pushing firmly into that heel to really feel that buttocks kick on. Pushing firmly into the heel. Stay up there in your little march. Now just lower your hips, pick them up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. One more, up, switch, and down, up, down, up, down, up. Two more. Last one, and switch. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Two more. Last one. Last switch. Down, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels down, both arms down, and glide back. Go ahead and just grab a hold behind the thighs. Open those legs out. You can give yourself a tiny little rock here. And then feet come to lower. Great. I'd love for you to roll onto your side, letting your bottom arm rest beneath your head. We're going to go right into those huge pinwheels. So you're just creating a massive circle here. I really want to make sure that you're getting a nice chest opener and stretch, because oftentimes when we are curling up into abdominals, people have a tendency to really round and hold their chest muscles tight. So let's open it up. We need to still feel that heat that was in the abs, but none of the tension. Let's go one more. Around you go. Good. You can roll right to your other side. I'm going to just flip over so I can see you. So roll right to that other side. And you go around the pinwheel. Oh. There's certain spots you hit, and it's well worth just hanging out for a second. Oh, there's no rules about how fast this has to go. The idea, right, is to open the chest. Oh, and right there, can I feel it all the way into my sternum? Ooh, around we go. Awesome. One hand's going to come in front to help push you up. Good. Turn back to those hands and knees one last time. I'm going to move forward and make sure I have enough room behind me. So tuck those toes under. We're going to lift our knees to a little hover. It's going to put a lot more tension all the way around, right? Abs, arms, step back to plank. Now tap one knee and pick it up. Tap the other knee, pick it up. Could you do this without your booty going up and down? So notice it's not a this for me, right? My back's steady, I'm bending at the knee. Hip and knee bend, hip and knee bend. 4, 3, 2, and 1, hike up. You can walk your hands and feet closer together, like my mat is stretching out, so I have to move a little. Really think that little rock, rock, rock. I'm rocking my chest to my thighs, between my hands. 4, 3, 2, rocking that booty backwards. Now bend one knee, then the other. Here we are, walking in place. Walk, hips can sway. Walk, walk, walk. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forward into plank. Both knees come down. Untuck the toes. I want you to set one foot into the arch of the other foot. And then as we walk our hands back, and as you sit up, you notice you're going to use one of your feet to basically apply pressure into the other. Some of you, some of us, will feel this as more of a stretch in the top of our foot. Others will feel it more in the arch from the pressure of the other foot. And then depending on where my butt is, right, if I'm staying up here, the pressure is much lighter. If I'm here, the pressure is a little bit more. And you can play with it. Play with kind of where your foot's sitting, right? There's a few options. Ooh, see, when I just moved that, it now went into the arch of my bottom foot. Oh, you can lean back a little bit more, maybe. I see Gigi's getting a little foot cramp. Yeah. And then just come out of it. Kick those feet. We're having a toddler fit. Now we'll go the other way. So put the other foot into the arch of the other, and you walk back, finding how much you need. Okay, and if this deep knee bend was too much, right, say like this, or when we're in class even, don't do it, right? Just use your hands and manipulate the arch of that foot. So this isn't a requirement. It's just always nice to feel this option. So again, it's like I've settled in a certain spot and I clearly can feel what's coming from it. I'm going to lighten up the weight here and just move my foot a little bit into a different spot. Oh, wow. Okay. I moved it closer up towards the ball of my foot that time, like in my own feet. It's like, oh, that's a whole nother stretch. I also feel it a bit more on the top of my upper foot on this side. The other side, I didn't feel that as much. Right, leaning back changes it, but quite frankly, I don't need that on this side. It's plenty. Let's take our hands to the floor and just flap those feet around. See if you can flap them like out and in, out and in, out and in. So they go away from each other and toward each other, but so super fast. They're like fluttering little wings. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them. Awesome. Now I want you just to slide one leg behind you. And I suppose, I mean, you're on the inside edge, but it's almost like you imagine you're gonna sit, right, your pubic bone on your heel. Like that would be the feeling. You may walk your hands up more if you need it. Also, you can walk your hands to one side. Oh, walk them away from the leg that's stretched behind you. Then you'll feel something different. So my right leg is behind me, so I walk to my left, and right here, it changes the angle of what you're stretching. Ooh, yes. And then when we're on both hands, we just tuck those back toes under and help bring us in. Slide that other leg back. Ooh, I almost got a cramp in my toe there. My back leg. So now my left leg is back, so I'm gonna walk to my right a bit. I notice when I first go, it's like, ooh, maybe not, but it starts to soften. Walking to center, coming back to knees. Tuck your toes under if you can, and rock back, and back, and back. Our ideal, I'm not there, the ideal would be that you feel all 10 toes on the mat. I can't quite get my pinky except for on the full rock back. Stretching through those arches. Rock, 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 and rock. Good. Untuck the toes. Just drop your hips to one side. And then you can easily slide yourself onto your backs. So let's go in, out again, but this time with the knees. So you're just gonna let them go rapid fire, in and out, in and out, in and out. Our goal here is to shake the flesh of our legs. So I wanna feel, if I can, my calf muscles shaking, my upper thighs, my hamstrings, and the bottom of my buttocks, right? If I'm really relaxed, I can feel my rear also here. Then open your palms to the sky, close your eyes, and then let the legs become still. Stretch your right leg out long, push into the heel, like you're pressing into a wall. Push, 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 and then let it stay long, but relax. Lengthen the other leg long, push through the heel, push, 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 push. And let that leg relax. Let the legs just drape open where they prefer to fall. Let the hands and arms find a comfortable place on the floor. And now as we breathe in through the nose, we're going to imagine filling all the way up into our belly, and the belly will rise. As we exhale out our mouth, we're going to allow our body to feel heavier and heavier onto the earth. In through the nose, fill the belly. Out through the mouth. Feel the body get heavy. Let the head be heavy. Let the thighs be heavy. One more inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Let yourself come back to a more natural breath. I do want you to take just about 20 seconds or so to set your intention for the day. And to be clear, intention is not your to-do list. I have one of those also. It's very long. But what is the intention? I'm going to set the intention for myself today to be kind to myself. So I will complete the to-do list, but in there, I'm going to hold that essence today. Let's all take one big breath in together. Exhale, let it go. When you are ready, you can roll to your side. You press yourself up. You can also just stay right there in your house and not leave your mat if you so prefer. Oh, I hope everybody has an awesome day. I hope you set a fabulous intention for yourself, because we're all worth that. We are more than to-do lists. Have a great day.